Welcome to Manifesting Your Desires with Astrology and Vastu. This is Michael Mastro. Vastu and astrology are sister sciences as well as Ayurveda. They aim at giving a holistic approach to manifesting your improved health, relationships, career, and finances by reducing and balancing the five elements in the body and the environment. These sciences really identify where energy gets stuck, whether it's planetary or somewhere in your home or office, and it gives you remedies to eliminate that stress. Vastu and Jyotish are both around 10,000-year-old sciences, and they offer this amazing knowledge, and it's all about reducing the stress. And in Vastu, it's about aligning your body to the buildings and the longitudinal and latitudinal lines of the earthly grid, and they combine these astrological remedies to reduce your karmic stress. In fact, early on, I used to do astrological readings along with the Vastu for rectification, and also when I'm designing a house. That has to be, when you design a house, you need to look at the combined charts of everyone in the family and to figure out the length and the width and the height of the house and then the rooms and the doors and windows within that house, so that house is vibrating in harmony with that family. Um, there's a harmonic resonance that happens, and it's quite powerful. And it doesn't mean that the house wouldn't be good for other people. It's just specifically even more for that particular family living or working in that environment. But again, I was looking at people's charts and the floor plan of their home, their office, their apartment, and I could see there's definite correlations. The floor plan of the house matched right up to the chart, and the reason is when we're born, all the stars are arranged in a certain way in the sky for us to come here and learn certain lessons, and during specific times or planetary cycles in your life, transits, there will be some challenges that come up to help you grow and evolve and open your heart and have compassion for others. And when you move into these planetary cycles, you naturally gravitate towards certain floor plans of houses and offices that support what your the challenges that you're facing through your astrological chart. In fact, we did a double-blind study. I teamed up with Dr. Kulreet Chowdhury, who's a neurologist in San Diego area, and she was receiving patients from all over the world that had been under some treatment for some particular health issue and were not getting better. And she gained a reputation of taking the healing of those individuals to the next level. So we took about 30 patients who had reached kind of a plateau, and we introduced Ayurveda. She was treating them with Ayurveda, and we introduced Vastu, and I did their astrological charts. And what was amazing is they all took a huge leap in their healing process. And we presented this double-blind study on Dr. Oz. So this is a kind of a graph of or a chart of how the planets line up. So this is, you could say, a floor plan. You could divide the house into 9 equal squares, or the office. And you see in the background there's a figure of a man. This is called the Vastu Purusha. And there's a mythology that goes along with a lot of scientific evidence. And in this case, a demon was about to devour the world, and the gods pinned him down to stop him. And he asked to be granted a boon, a favor, to be released. And he was released on the basis that he would be the protector of all the buildings on this earth. And so he is said to be the soul or the spirit of the house, the protector, with his head in the northeast and his feet in the southwest. And so we kind of carry that mythology with us when we're looking at Vastu. But each house has 9 different directions, and each direction is associated, each subdirection is associated with one or more of the 5 elements. So in Ayurveda and Jyotish, the aim is to balance the 5 elements within the body. And Vastu takes that a step further to balance the 5 elements in the body of your body, which is your environment. So air is associated with the northwest, and it is associated with the planet Moon. And later on, we'll talk about how that can affect your relationships. North is associated with Mercury, northeast is associated with the water element, the growth in spiritual and material growth, and associated with the planet Jupiter. East is associated with Sun. Southeast is associated with fire and health and the planet Venus. South is associated with Mars. Southwest is associated with the earth element and Rahu. And the very center is not associated with any planet, but the space element. Now here's how the 4 quadrants of a house are aligned with the different astrological signs and also their Ayurvedic dosha types. And so, and when we're manifesting, we can look a little bit to our sign to see what the best modality for manifesting is. So for air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, they can use sound of word and written words, writing down your intentions as a means to manifesting. And then in the northeast, you have Cancer, the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, and these use feeling and emotion to manifest. Southeast, you have the fire signs. They use that. They're the Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. They use more visuals, like an image, like a doorway, or just for an example. And then in the Southwest, the Earth signs, they use more tactical, earthly things like scents and smells, and those can help them in their manifesting process. Like maybe there's a certain smell that really transports them and makes them uplifted and able to manifest. So the directions of the houses and the planets also line up with houses and also signs as well. I'm not going to go all the way through this chart, but basically each of the 9 squares, if you divided a house into tic-tac-toe, is associated with some aspect of your life. So in the northwest, again, that's that moon or Cancer, ruled by Cancer. Cancer ruled by moon, and the 4th house also connected there. And this has to do with relationships. And then the north, you have Mercury, again, Virgo, which ruled Virgo and Gemini, has to do with communication, 6th and 3rd houses, as well as prosperity and wealth. Northeast is Jupiter and also K2, the southern node of the moon, associated with Sagittarius and Pisces. And this is more the spiritual growth through letting go of attachments. Also, there is material growth there as well. East is Sun, Leo, 5th house, has to do with health and the light of the sun, which really gives us light and health. Southeast is Venus. Venus rules Libra and Taurus, although we give more preference to the Multicona signs. So many planets rule 2 signs, but Libra is the Multicona sign. Taurus would be secondary, 7th and 2nd houses. And this has to do with relationships and partnerships as well. South has Mars, Aries and Scorpio, first and eighth houses. Aries is the Multicona sign. Just to backtrack, Sagittarius is the Multicona sign, Virgo's Multicona sign, and Aquarius would be the Multicona signs. So here, it's about energy, what it takes to get things done, a movement, passion. And then in the Southwest, we have that Rahu, which gives us ambition to pursue our careers and any other things, many other things in our life. West is Saturn, Aquarius, and Capricorn, Aquarius being the Multicona sign, and 11th and 10th houses, and more associated with career and earning money. So there's 7 things that create environmental stress that can affect our ability to manifest. If we can balance those 5 elements, many of you have walked into a house and felt uneasy, didn't feel like you wanted to stay there long. Maybe it's a beautiful house, very expensive house, but one or more of the 5 elements is out of balance. And that can happen due to these 7 different things: alignment, placement, shape, leaks and blocks, slope, clutter, and electromagnetic stress. So we're going to go into those briefly. So as the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, it provides different qualities or rays of energy. In the morning, you have the ultraviolet rays that support your cellular growth, and then when the sun is directly overhead, infrared rays, and when it sets in the west, gamma rays. These can damage the cellular growth. The positive magnetic energy that comes from the north supports our prosperity, and the positive solar energy from the east supports our good health. So in Vastu, we try to align ourselves with these forces of nature. Now here's a picture, Google Map picture of a cul-de-sac. You can see one house is perpendicular and parallel to your computer. It is truly aligned to true north. North is always the top of the computer. East is always the right side, south bottom, and then you have in the west the left side of your computer. So and you can see the house next to it has a pie-shaped lot also, and it's facing a little bit towards northeast. See, the cul-de-sac is actually right here. So when a house is not aligned to the cardinal directions, the energy field gets distorted, and it affects our decision making, our ability to manifest our desires. And there are some very powerful energetic ways to remedy that situation without trying to pick up the house and turn it. So here's placement is very important in Vastu, and each of the 5 elements are related to that. So for example, if northeast is associated with the water element, if you have a fireplace, a stove, a furnace, electrical panel there, it's like burning money. This is a picture of a remodeled house where they put the stove in the northeast, and before that the family was doing very well, but after the remodel they lost a lot of money in the stock market, and also they placed a toilet in the southwest, which affected the career. So here's just a diagram of a house before and after it's been corrected. So what happens, all the positive energy comes in, magnetic and solar, in through the northeast, and it splits and it moves around and settles in the southwest to benefit people living and working in that environment. Now, if you have a stove in the northeast and a toilet in the southeast, reducing the fire element, this can affect health, this can affect prosperity, and this fireplace in the southwest can affect career. So some of the energy as it's flowing hits those things that are not in the right place and creates an anti-clockwise motion. We use what we call a yantra, or an energy device that turns that anti-clockwise movement and creates a positive clockwise movement, so the energy keeps moving. It releases that stuck energy that's affecting our ability to manifest. So we're going to talk a little bit about shape. In a rectangular shape, all 5 elements are in perfect balance. No energy is getting stuck. Just like in a river, when you have a bend in the river, some of the water gets stuck and eddies and stagnates and pollutes. Same thing happens with a shape of a house where the garage sticks out and you have a missing corner at the entrance, and then maybe there's a patio in the southwest and the kitchen sticks out or something like that. So you see how all the positive energy is coming in and it's creating this anti-clockwise movement, getting stuck in these extensions and missing corners. So after we do a correction, we place a yantra here and here so they can see each other. They create an energetic boundary so that the extensions to the rectangular shape become separate Vastu energy fields, and we restore the rectangular shape, and no energy is getting stuck anymore, and the ability to manifest is restored. Here we show how all the positive energy comes in, and then there's lots of openings in the south and the west, and it leaks out. And also in this situation, maybe it's an apartment next to adjoining a common wall with another apartment, but there's no windows in the north or the east, so there's a blockage there. We use yantras to attract that missing blocked energy and to create an energy barrier so that prosperity doesn't leak out and become unwanted expenses, affecting ability to manifest. So here's a diagram kind of showing how clutter affects our ability to manifest relationships in the northwest, abundance in the northeast, health, improved health in the southeast, and your career improvement or your ability to move forward in your career by clutter in the southwest. Any clutter in the center can affect success in all these different areas of your life, your ability to manifest in all those different areas. So I think many of you have had the experience of cleaning out a drawer and putting it back in, organized, throwing away what you don't need or giving away what you don't need. This gives you energy. So you know wherever energy is getting stuck, and any area of life that you're having trouble manifesting, for example, the prosperity or your finances, look in the northeast. See if there's things that could be organized just a little bit better, and likewise in the other directions as well. The seventh thing that affects energy getting stuck and ability to manifest is earth energies, which they talked about in the Vedas. So underground streams, fault lines, things like that is what we've known in the past. And then now at present day, we have underground utilities, power, water, sewer, storm, gas, and fault lines as well as underground streams. But even more now, we have all these electromagnetic type devices, computers, appliances, routers, cell towers, smart meters. Nobody comes around and reads your electric meter anymore. There's a transmitter on the meter that sends a signal to a central location to read your meter, and they throw out a lot of electromagnetic stress that can compromise your immune system and affect your health and your ability to it affects your energy level and your ability to manifest. So Vastu can detect this EMF radiation and block it with copper staples. And then we also have an EMF whole house plug that you can plug into the wall, any outlet, and it transforms those electromagnetic energies into something the body can handle more easily. It gives you energy instead of taking it away, and you can get those at VastuCreations.com. Now, here's a chart showing a little bit about how health and your ability to manifest good health and improve your health, so your ability to manifest is impacted by imbalances in each of the different directions. So you see the digestive respiratory systems are affected by imbalances in the northwest, as well as depression and stomach cancers, allergies. In the northeast, which is more the kapha area, the water element, your circulatory and cardiovascular systems are impacted. Weight issues, infertility, high blood pressure, leukemia, brain cancers, all of those are impacted by imbalances in the northeast. And it's usually combined with the southeast or another direction as well. Southeast, the Pitta area, immune and reproductive systems are impacted. Sleep, diabetes, kidney issues, pancreas, thyroid, breast, ovarian cancers. A lot of people who are having trouble conceiving, it's a combination of the southeast and the northeast, some imbalances there. Maybe there's a stove in the northeast and a toilet in the southeast, something like that. Southwest is affected by water and fire elements that can affect the skeletal and muscular systems in the body. Arthritis, teeth, feet, depression, fibromyalgia, bone, prostate cancers all can be affected. Now I'm going to give you some tips that you can help to restore the balance and support the elements in each direction. These are more on a grosser level, and we're going to talk about some more subtle energetic tips a little bit later. So in the northwest, you can add wind chimes, light blue accent colors, sky scenes, jasmine plants. All that will support the air element and your relationships. In the northeast, you can add some a fountain, yellow accents, jade plants, and waterfall scenes for supporting more prosperity. In the southeast, you can add a Himalayan salt lamp, rose accents, desert scenes, and aloe plants for supporting better health, manifesting better health. In the southwest, you can add peace lily plants, terracotta or earth tone accents, mountain scenes to support manifesting improvement in your career. Here we have a chart, and I'm not going to go all the way through it. But we take a look at each of the 9 areas of your home or office. And basically, in the northeast, this is not marked right, but anyway, in the northeast, we have prosperity is affected, and that's the water element. And it's a good area for the prayers. And so cuts, extensions, and blocks and fireplace or a hot water tank or stoves in this area, along with clutter and toilets. Now, toilets is a water element, but it's impure water. So these are all the things that can throw that water element out of balance and create some stuck energy, creating stress around your finances and prosperity. Now, that goes for the north area as well, the middle area, and the east area. So north, northeast, and east are all affected by the things I just talked about. And you can remedy those by, in the north, strengthening your Mercury. You can use herbs like Brahmi, and you can use mantras, chant mantras like the Buddha, Om Namo Bhagavate Buddha Devaya Namaha, the Devata mantra for Mercury, and then for the north direction, and then, or you could wear a kavash as well as gems like emeralds and things like that. Green colors, adding a fountain, tabletop fountain, and pictures of ocean. Same thing in the northeast. Disregard that northwest. It's actually northeast right here. And so that would be the same kind of remedies, only using yellow sapphire, yellow accent colors, and Vamana, Om Namo Bhagavate Vamana Devaya Namaha as the mantra, the Devata mantra for Jupiter. The Devata mantras are much more powerful than the normal, like Brihaspati mantra for Jupiter. And they don't have any side effects. For example, if Jupiter happened to be malefic in your chart, which it is for, I think, Pisces, or some of the signs. And then we don't really want to strengthen it with the Brihaspati mantra. But if you're using the Vamana mantra, no side effects, and it will help transform that malefic Jupiter. So for sun, you want to strengthen sun. You can use cinnamon as a herb, or D3. It helps with people who don't have enough sunlight in their life. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya Namaha as the mantra. Again, adding a fountain or orange colors. Now, in the southeast and the south, rose colors are particularly good for remedies. Cuts and extensions will affect things there, or any water elements. But to strengthen a weak, afflicted Mars, herbs like turmeric are very good. And then remedies, Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namaha, the Devata mantra for Mars, and Om Namo Bhagavate Parasuramaya Namaha for Venus, as well as Kavash and giving to charity. Charity is really the number one way of transforming any malefics in your chart, along with chanting. So rose colors in both, salt lamp will work for both, and desert scenes. Now in the southwest and the west, you can use some mountain scenes to transform Rahu and Ketu, as well as Saturn. Shilajit is a good herb for Saturn, and ginger for Rahu and Ketu. And then the Devata mantras. So Om Namo Bhagavate Varaha Devaya Namah for Rahu, and Ketu is Om Namo Bhagavate Matsya Devaya Namah. And then for Saturn, you can use Om Namo Bhagavate Kurma Devaya Namaha as the mantra, and you can work Kavash, light blue colors, earth tones in the southwest as a remedy, and you can use plants are very good. Pictures of mountains as well in both of those areas. And then, hold on, I gotta go back. So in the northwest, we want to add pictures of clouds. We want to use Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namaha as the mantra, and light blue colors, white colors, clouds, pictures of clouds, chimes, anything to do with sound and air element. Shatavari is the herb associated with the moon, and calcium is also something. If you have calcium deficiencies, calcium is a good way to strengthen moon in that area. And again, all the doshas are blockages that can affect relationships. Slope. If the slope is down to the northeast and up to the southwest, then you're going to benefit. If it's opposite of that, if there's a mountain or a hill in the northeast, you're going to block your prosperity, and you're going to have a lot of expenses. So these are some of the remedies for the different directions. These are the mantras that I was just talking about. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Buddha-devaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vamana-devaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Matsya-devaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Ramachandraya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Parasuramaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Narasimhaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Vara-devaya Namah, Om Namo Bhagavate Kurma-devaya Namah, Om Maha Bhagavata Vastu Purushaya Namaha for all-around success and balancing the center. So these are all the directional and planetary Devata mantras, so that are very powerful. So what we're doing in Vastu and in Jyotish is identifying where there is stress in the house, stress in your chart, from planets. And because the planets are associated with each direction of a house or a floor plan. So basically, if you go to someone who understands how energy flows in your body, like an acupuncturist, they will see that a meridian or marma point is blocked. They will use an acupuncture needle or pressure there to release that stuck energy. This is exactly what we're doing in a home by correcting missing corners and extensions, and just finding out where the energy is getting stuck, and using yantras to move that stuck energy energetically. So how do yantras work? So Einstein said that everything is made of energy, and if you can get something that matches the frequency of what you want to manifest, and the yantras are or a form of that, and then you can, create a good abundance, wealth, and health. So here is a scientist who invented what's called a tonoscope, and it's something that renders sound into form. And this is in the early 30s, I think. And he did a lot of experiments. He had a microphone with a wire attached to two copper plates with some crystals on top, and he would utter sounds into the microphone, and the copper plates would vibrate and the crystals would start to vibrate. And here's what he did with Om. So you can see this is a picture of a Shri yantra, and as he chanted Om, the crystals started vibrating, creating these triangles and circles. It's just like the Shri yantra. So very powerful. Yantras are very, very powerful. So these are just 3 of 100 different yantras that we use in Vastu to correct any imbalances or stuck energy, just like an acupuncturist would use a needle. So here you can see there are Sanskrit numbers in 9 equal squares. This is happens to be a Mercury yantra, and along with the mantra that goes along with it that's down below here. So these Sanskrit numbers add up diagonally, horizontally, and vertically to a coefficient of the frequency of Mercury, and it will help move any stuck energy in that north area of your house. So we have, again, 100 different yantras that move the stuck energy where it happens to be in your house. So I'm going to give you 3 tips on manifesting through Vastu by aligning your body and your resonance to the forces of nature. So actually, this is probably 4 tips. So here, each of us has a dosha type or a combination of dosha types. Some of us are even tridoshic. But if you happen to be, for example, predominantly Vata or Pitta, and you're spending a lot of time in the northwest area here of your house, it's going to aggravate your dosha type and affect your ability to manifest. Likewise, if you are primarily Pitta and Vata and spending a lot of time like sleeping or working in the southeast of your house, it will aggravate your dosha type. Whereas it will pacify for both of those the Kapha dosha type. Remember, Kapha is more water and earth. Pitta is mostly fire. Vata is mostly air. So in the southwest, this will pacify, balance out the Vata Pitta, but it'll aggravate the Kapha. And likewise with the northeast, balancing Vata Pitta and aggravating Kapha. So see if this affects your ability to manifest, and if there's any possibility of changing bedrooms or where you're spending a lot of time working or studying, that can improve your ability to manifest. The other tip is the direction you sleep has a lot to do with your ability to wake up and feel rested, ability to manifest, to throw off stress in your sleep. Double-blind study with 50 people recovering from similar surgeries in a hospital. 25 of the patients had their headboard on a north wall, feet pointing south. The other 25 had their headboards on the south wall, feet pointing north. What they found was very interesting. They measured their REM cycles, which is rapid eye movement, and the longer and more REM cycles you have, the deeper your sleep and your ability to manifest. So what they found was the patients with their headboard to the north were having more complications, not recovering as well from the surgery, and not waking up feeling as refreshed as the patients with their headboard to the south. The reason is positive magnetic energy comes from the north, and our body is like a magnet, the positive polarities in our head. So if possible, sleep with your head to the south, the west, or the east, but never north. Not northwest, northeast, or north. Because it affects the circulation, digestion, and blood flow as well. So the other thing we spend a lot of time doing is studying, cooking, playing music, doing things that are creative, art, and the direction we face. I spend a lot of time at Intel, Microsoft. In fact, I designed the first Microsoft building according to Vastu and several buildings for Boeing. And I help Amazon, uh, Microsoft, Boeing, Intel help their workers be more productive. And one of the very simplest things that we look at is the direction that they face. So there's another double-blind study, several of them. I have 100 kids, similar IQ, study the same materials and take the same test. They have 25 face north, 25 face east, 25 face south, and 25 face west. They have them all hooked up to EEG machines to measure their brainwaves. They found that the kids that faced east and north did about 20% better on the test. They were producing this rolling harmonic brainwave, alpha waves, and the kids that faced south and west creating more of a beta wave. So when you're setting your intentions for manifestation, be sure and face east or north. They found that the kids that were facing east did better on the right brain part of the test, the creative part of the test, and the kids that did better on the math faced north. Something about the magnetic energy from the north supports left brain. So keep that in mind when you're paying bills. Try to face north. When you're trying to manifest your desires, I think east might be a little bit better direction. So here we're using Vastu and astrology to create a manifesting altar. So you want to build a square altar and basically put in the northeast corner of that altar. It can be as big as your backyard or it can be as small as a windowsill. And you just have to use smaller pieces. But in the northeast, you want a little clear vase with water. You can even put a flower in the vase if you like. In the southeast, have a little candle. I have been trying to encourage people to use battery-operated votive candles or battery-operated candles because we don't want to start any fires. Although you only need the candle to be on while you're doing the ignition, which takes about a minute. Then in the southwest corner, place a favorite rock, a bowl of rice, a favorite crystal representing the earth element. And in the northwest, place some incense, a bell, or a feather. Again, we don't want to start fires, so bell or a feather might be a better option, especially if you're in an office. And then you can place your cell phone with its compass app open in the very center, and make sure that your water's in the northeast and your air's in the northwest and the fire's in the southeast, just to double check. And then make sure that your compass is set to true north, not magnetic north. There's a setting on the phones that helps you with that. In the center, place a little offering tray and remove the cell phone or compass. And on a new moon or a full moon, because new moons or full moons are very powerful times to set your intentions. Write on a piece of paper in your own words, I am grateful for whatever it happens to be that you want to manifest. Because we want to put it in a positive tone. The law of attraction says, if we feel abundant, we attract more abundance. If we feel lack, we attract more lack. So you want to say it in a positive way. I'm grateful for, and I'm going to give an example, improved health, abundance, harmony in my relationships, advancement in my career. But whatever it happens to be, write it down. Then read it aloud 3 times in the morning and evening before bed. And then to ignite it every morning, create a ritual, a habit. Read it aloud. Hold the piece of paper to your heart in front of the altar, facing east. Start taking long, slow, deep breaths in and out through the nose. And take a cleansing breath. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just let go of all the cares of the day. And then start breathing. Breathe As you breathe in, fill every cell of your being of what it would feel like in the body to already have whatever you wrote down on the piece of paper. For example, feel that. What would feeling, financial freedom? Well, how would that feel in your body? Feel that sense of joy, fulfillment, and gratitude in every particle of your being. Then place the piece of paper. Now, if there is any doubt, breathe the light of your love into that area and just know you are worthy of being loved and having what you want. Now you can place the piece of paper in the center of the altar. That's the space element. And this altar is like a homing device to manifest your desires. It's a miniature replica of the universe. And so you place it in the center, and then we use Gomukhi Mudra. Just take your right hand, fold the two middle fingers in, and hold them down with your thumb, and your pointer finger and your baby finger are sticking out. And you can turn your hand over, and we want to point 9 times with this Gomukhi Mudra at the center of the space element of the altar, and chant this mantra 9 times. Om Gang Ganapatiye Namaha. 9 times. Chant that. And then you can close your eyes and take a deep breath in and hold it. And as you breathe out, surrender all those intentions to the divine. It's in divine time to organize, to fulfill those desires. And all you have to do is set your intention every morning by feeling it in the body, offering it, chanting the mantra 9 times, and then giving it to God. This is a very powerful ancient process. It's helped thousands and thousands of people manifest their desires all over the world, and it's using Vastu and astrology to create a morning ritual to manifest your desires. So key points to look for to increase your manifesting abilities. Is your residence aligned to the cardinal directions? What direction do you face when you look out your front door? If it's aligned to the cardinal directions, your manifesting abilities are better. If you're facing, the house faces north or east, it's a little bit better as well. And make sure, does your house have missing corners or extensions? Or are there fire elements like furnaces or stoves in the northeast or the southwest? Or do you have any, are you missing blockages in the northeast by not having windows? Are there lots of windows and doors in the southwest leaking your prosperity and your manifesting ability? Do you have smart meters or routers that could be affecting your ability to manifest? What about clutter? Where is the clutter in your house? How is that affecting your ability to manifest? What direction do you sleep, and what area of the residence do you sleep in? We talked about that. And then what direction do you face when you work, meditate, pray, setting up your altar? Do you sleep with the windows even open a little bit slightly? There needs to be some fresh prana in the room, even in colder climates. Do you expect any mold in your residence? That could affect your health and your ability to manifest. And then you can, if any of these things are true, you can use some of the grosser remedies that I've give you in this seminar, or you can. All these corrections can be done energetically with an online Vastu consult at vastucreations.com. You would just send in your address and a simple sketch with a north arrow, and we can actually look and see where the energy is getting stuck, and prescribe the remedies and send them to you with instructions for installation. In review, basically 3 things affect our ability to manifest: reducing the stress in the mind and the body, reducing the stress in the home and work environments, and the planetary doshas in your chart, the weak, afflicted planets and the malefic planets. And so transforming them with the planetary mantras or the Devata mantras, as I was suggesting, and using the colors and giving to charity can all help strengthen and remedy any planetary imbalances and stress. So for the best results, get a Jyotish or online analysis. We also do Vedic medical readings, uh, but basically an online analysis for your home or office, and I'm offering you a 20% discount if you go to www.vastucreations.com. If you would like to learn how to do um, Vastu consults and become certified, you could go to American Institute of Vastu.com.